This is your 420 Radio News for Thursday, September 26, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Prominent Mexicans urge government to decriminalize marijuana. This from Reuters.com. A broad spectrum of prominent Mexicans, including former ministers, businessmen, artists, and a Nobel Prize-winning scientist, on Wednesday urged the government to decriminalize marijuana in a bid to curb gang violence and corruption. Since 2007, about 80,000 people have been killed in turf wars between drug cartels and their clashes with security forces, leading to calls for a change in policy in Mexico and elsewhere in the U.S.-led war on drugs. Among the signatories were several former ministers from the ruling Institutional Revolutionary Party, famous actors, media tycoon Ricardo Salinas Pliego, one of Mexico's richest men, and 1995 Nobel laureate for chemistry, Mario Molina. The ad argued that criminalization made narcotics more lucrative for cartels, noted that a number of U.S. states had liberalized marijuana laws, and that Uruguay's Congress was taking steps to legalize the cultivation and sale of the drug. The advertisement read, quote, "Mexico has paid a high cost for applying the punitive policy of prohibition," end quote. Up in smoke, 52% of California adults want to legalize marijuana, from the New York Daily News. Support for the legalization of marijuana has never been so high in the Golden State. 52% of adults surveyed by the Public Policy Institute of California said they thought marijuana should be made legal in the state, a new record level since the group began polling residents. Mirroring nationwide trends, a clear majority of Californians said that the U.S. Department of Justice should not enforce federal marijuana laws in states that have voted to legalize its use for either medicinal or recreational purposes. Of those surveyed, 61% of adults and 68% of likely voters said that Uncle Sam should let state marijuana laws stand, even if they are in conflict with the federal prohibition. Capital alert, ballot proposal to decriminalize pot cleared to collect signatures, from the Sacramento Bee. As a new poll finds that a majority of California voters back legalizing marijuana, proponents of a ballot proposal to decriminalize cannabis have the green light to collect signatures to put it on the 2014 ballot. The ballot initiative, which, quote, decriminalizes marijuana and hemp use, possession, cultivation, transportation, or distribution, end quote, has been cleared for circulation, the Secretary of State's office announced Thursday. In addition, the proposal would institute case-by-case reviews of nonviolent marijuana convictions and charges. It would also have the legislature enact laws to tax and regulate the plant, allow doctors to prescribe pot regardless of a patient's age, and ban state or local governments from enforcing federal marijuana law. This particular initiative looks less professional than past efforts. The cover note is written by hand and contains an email address, but no phone number for one of its backers, Burton Doozy of Simi Valley. Bank of America will accept Washington state marijuana revenue, from the 420times.com. One of the biggest hurdles that companies generating revenue in the marijuana industry have to face is finding a financial institution willing to accept them as customers. The Liquor Control Board in the state of Washington was in the same situation until the Bank of America agreed to permit them to deposit anticipated marijuana-related profits in their vaults. Most banks are leery of dealing with marijuana businesses simply for the fact that under federal policy, the government views money from marijuana transactions as money laundering. Bank of America declares it is willing to accommodate new marijuana-related businesses, according to Jim McIntyre, treasurer for the state of Washington, who said, quote, in fact, we're already taking some tax revenues, I believe, for medical marijuana, so it's not a real issue in terms of their perception, end quote. Colorado marijuana industry gets $1 million from investor group, from Huffington Post. In Denver, more than 60 investors from the ArcView Group met with 22 startup marijuana companies, including several directly involved in marijuana sales or cultivation, which was a first for the investment group, seeking capital. By the end of the meetings, the investors committed well over $1 million to Colorado marijuana companies, ArcView CEO Troy Dayton told the Denver Post. And it may have been even more. However, due to Colorado's marijuana laws, which requires investors to qualify as state residents for 3 years before making equity investments in a marijuana business, some investors had... This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, September 26, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines and take a look at the drug testing epidemic. We are live here from Brightside Dispensary in Portland, Oregon, at Brightside PDX, or Brightside on Facebook. You're listening to the Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.